Bruchim Aboy, Mishem Egen Shir Torah, Mrs. Boston. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's shir. All the men here in the main shul, all the women upstairs and downstairs, everyone listening in through the telephone or watching through the live stream. Bruchim Aboyim to everyone. I'd like to give a big shikar to the sponsors of tonight's shir, Mr. and Mrs. David Dax, covered Rav Cohen Shlita, Elam Shem, Lili Nishmas, Rav Shraga Feivel, Ben Rabbi Zev Cohen, on Man Yerachal Bas, Nishmas Man Yerachal Bas of Yaakov Tzvi, Le'er Masholem. Rabbi say whoever was not able to attend Egan Shiri Torah's dinner last Wednesday, missed out on a great and inspiring program on Kiddush Hashem, you can still have the opportunity to have a chelik in the Abotzas HaTorah of Egan Shiri Torah worldwide throughout the year by calling Egan Shiri Torah at 718-851-8651 or emailing to tapecenter@yeshivanet.com, or you can make use of one of the envelopes here on the front table. Tonight we have the cover to have with us once again Rabbi Zev Cohen Shlita, Rav Das Yeshurun, and Rosh Kolel Choshen Mishpat Chicago to speak on the topic of controlling or being in control. Avodas Amidas is my cover to call on Rav Cohen for tonight's Rosh.
I'm not exactly sure why, Rabbi Zev, but I get more nervous every year when I come. Tonight's very special. I'm very connected to saying shir here. My mother, Allah Shalom, used to come for many years, and my sister has come, my brother-in-law. Tonight I have my wife's brother, my Choshen brother-in-law, Harav Akiva Stolper Shlita, and tonight I have very special. My sons have been here, but my son-in-law is here, and the first time ever I have a grandson here, so it's a special evening for me. Okay, controlling your midos or being controlled by your midos. So I'd like to add that this topic is going to have a second topic together with it, and that's going to be our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When I first said the title of this year, I really thought I was coming in to speak when I normally do, which is Tammuz or Of, but this is the first time I'm ever speaking in Elul. Maybe that's why I'm also nervous, Elul, to speak in Elul. So I'm adding, we're going to go through both of these topics as we go through this year. My first shaila is a shaila that hit me a few weeks ago. Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. I have to give credit to the Adash Yeshurun, Anshe Knesset Yisrael, our shul in Chicago. I get pushed a lot there. I have to speak a lot, and when you have to speak a lot, it pushes you to think. So I'm always trying to think. Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. What's the translation, Rabbi Say? I just asked this in shul on Shabbos as well. What's the translation? Simple translation. No, I'm a simple person. You know me, simple person. There's a lot of levels here. A simple level. What are you saying? I am to my beloved is to me. What does that mean? That's what you talk to Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's a pasuk, right? And we say Elul stands for that. Well, I talk to Hashem. You're my beloved. I am to my beloved is to me, Avinu, okay, Malkeinu. I am to my beloved, and my beloved is to me. What does it mean? You're my friend? Hashem's my friend? Is Hashem my friend? Don't we say that several times in Yom Kippur? Don't we say that? Before we say Al Chet, don't we sing, I don't know how they sing the songs in New York. Don't you sing, We say Hashem is Avinu Malkeinu, we know, but we also say Hashem. We have a lot of different relationships with Hashem. One of them is that Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. What does that mean? So I'd like to talk about one person who had a yachas with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He felt he lost the yachas with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then he tried to get the yachas back with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then I'd like to speak about a person who had a yachas with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and lost the yachas with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then I'd like to speak about us. Okay? We're going to all that is going to deal with midos and these relationships. So the first person I'd like to speak about is Aaron HaKohen. Spent a lot of time since Pesach working about Aaron, or working on understanding Aaron HaKohen. Now, it's a waste of time. It's mamish bal tashkis on this man to say that Aaron HaKohen was a great person and we can't understand. Everybody knows that. I don't have to say that. But I'd like to talk about Aaron HaKohen. Aaron HaKohen was a leader of Klal Yisrael for 60 years. Moshe Rabbeinu was away. He took over his father's position. He was the Manig of Klal Yisrael for 60 years. He was on such an incredible level that Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't fathom that there could be a person on a level who could say what, Rabbi say? That's right. That Aaron HaKohen was happy for Moshe Rabbeinu to get the Shtella, that even though 60 years he was the Manig, he was okay. Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't fathom that. That's the Madrega Aaron HaKohen was on. Okay. Now, comes along a day in history. Tes Zayin Tammuz. Not Shavuos of Tammuz, first Tes Zayin Tammuz. Tes Zayin Tammuz. Aaron HaKohen is in an incredible matzav. Now, once again, I'll mention Shul. Last year, we spent the entire Shabbos Shuvah Drasha on this test of Aaron HaKohen. Aaron HaKohen's nephew was killed. Hur was killed. Klal Yisrael was in an incredible matzav. They wanted an egel. Hur said no, they killed him. Now, Aaron HaKohen had a halachic obligation to make a machor. But Aaron HaKohen understood that if he makes a machor, this is all Chazal, if he makes a machor and says don't do it, they'll kill him. I shall be Moiseh Nefesh. He knew that if Klal Yisrael will kill a Navi and a Kohen, b'yom echad, Klal Yisrael will have kloya. They won't get out of this situation. Klal Yisrael will be destroyed. It's an unbelievable cheshbonis that went through his head. At the end of the day, it says in the Torah, these are just two psukim, but they're scary psukim. It says in the pasuk, "Vayigaf Hashem es ha'om al asher osu es ha'egel." Hashem punished Klal Yisrael because they made the egel asher osa Aaron. It's a pasuk, asher osa Aaron. It's a scary pasuk. Then there's a pasuk in Devarim. That pasuk I just read to you is Lamed Beis, Lamed Hey, and Shmois. It's a pasuk in Devarim, Tes Chof. Another scary pasuk. Uvi Aaron hisanaf Hashem moed lashmidai. Hashem was upset with Aaron lashmidai, to destroy him. V'yaspal gam yad Aaron beisahi lashmidai. Rashi says that Kilei Bana wanted to destroy his sons. We'll see about that in a moment. Wanted to destroy his sons. Scary pasuk. Pasuk says, again, this is in Shmini, Yud Beis, talking about his sons. It says, Hanosarim. Rashi says again, Chazal, that really all 4 sons should have died. 2 sons were saved because of Moshe Rabbeinu. Then it says, Rabbi, you know me already. I'm getting a little less nervous now that I'm starting to see so many friendly faces who are listening to me. I don't have to tell you that, as I told you, I come out every year. I love Chumash and Rashi. I love to learn Chumash and Rashi. So it says here in the Parsha, another unbelievable concept. In Parsha Shmini. The Vahiba Yom HaShmini, knew what day the Vahiba Yom HaShmini, Rabbi say, knew? Aleph Nisan. What year? What year of the Midbar? Who? Well, it wasn't the second year yet, right? They went into the Midbar in Tezvav. It's the end of the first year. Well, it's the 8th day of what? Oh, the 8th day of the Miluim, right? The 8th day of the Miluim. 8th day of Miluim. So it says like this. Aaron HaKohen, Kach l'cha egel, bring a carbon egel. On Aleph Nisan, lo idea, shemachapel HaKadosh Baruch Hu yad egel. Al ma'is egel she'osa. Aaron HaKohen was scared. He had a blemish on his record. 60 years he was a manik, then he was faced with a test. And the test was the egel. He bore responsibility for the egel. What did that mean as far as his relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? He was afraid, so they brought an egel on Aleph Nisan, Yom HaShmini, lo idea shemachapel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Was HaKadosh Baruch Hu mechaper or not? Yes or no? Was HaKadosh Baruch Hu mechaper for the egel? Did Aaron get a clean slate? Did Aaron get a clean slate? So what does it say here? Aaron the Kohen, Karavel Mizbeach, or Aaron Boish. Aaron was afraid. He was afraid to go close to the Mizbeach. Then finally, Aaron HaKohen and Moshe Rabbeinu v'Yova Moshe v'Aaron, Loma Nichnasu, says Rashi, Kivan Shira Aaron Shekorvu Kol HaKabonis, they brought all the Kabonis on the 8th day of the Miluim, V'nasu, Kol HaMaiks, and everything they're supposed to do, V'Yor the Shechina. Shechina didn't come down to Klal Yisrael. So Aaron says, he was in pain. I know why the Shekhinah didn't come down. Shekosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu alai. Kadosh Baruch Hu is angry with me. Ubishvili lo the Shekhinah Yisrael. Amalei Moshe, he says to his brother Moshe, Ochi, kacha sisali. This is what you did to me, so to speak, using a idiomatic expression. You put me up to this. I'm only saying that l'sabris oizen. Kacha sisali shedichnasti v'dispayashti. I went in and I got embarrassed. Miyad nichnas Moshe. So Moshe went in with him. Ubikshu rachamim, and the Shekhinah came down. So did he have his yachas back with the Kodesh Baruch Hu, or didn't he have his yachas back with the Kodesh Baruch Hu? Was the Kodesh Baruch Hu angry at him or not angry at him? Was it kas? Was it tsar? What's happening here? What's that? I want to tell you another thing, Rabbi say. Let's go to Parshas Baloischa. Baloischa. This is hard. Doesn't say so explicitly. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But you, my friends, are going to put you all on the spot, okay? When does Baloischa take place? When's Baloischa take place? Shavuos. Rashi says, Lo manislucha parshas ha-menorah l'parshas ha-nesiyim. Menorah is right next to the Nesiyim, Baloischa. When did the Nesiyim take place? Parshas Nosa. When did it take place, everybody say? No? Aleph Nisan. Which Aleph Nisan? No. First year. Vayhi b'yom Shmini was the 8th day. I know Shmini is way back in Vayikra, and Baloischa is in the beginning of Bamidbar. But the Maisa, it's the same day over here. Vayhi b'yom Shmini, the 8th day, the Nesiyim started bringing their karbonis. Okay, so now it says the parsha of the menorah is right after the Nesiyim. So now what happened? The fee, Kishera es Aaron, when Aaron saw what? Chanukah on Nesiyim for the last 12 days, the Nesiyim brought karbonis. Choshen is daitoi. He got weak. Kishaloha yimoyim. He was not together with them on Chanukah in the Chanukah of his Mizbeach. Lo yehuva lo shiftoi. Okay, now why was the Choshen daitoi? Why was the Choshen daitoi? Tell me why he had Chalishas Hadas. I'm in my 7th decade, Rabbi Say. I didn't know this until this year. Why did he have Chalishas Hadas? It says why, right? Because he wasn't a participant. What was the Chalishas Hadas for? Why did he feel bad? Zakta Shachal HaTorah, based on Chazal, he felt bad because he said, why in the world didn't I think of participating? Why didn't my Shevet think of participating? Zakta Shachal HaTorah, Pi Chazal. Hashem must be angry at me for the eagle. Hashem must be angry at me for the eagle. Otherwise, how's it possible that nobody in my whole Shevet came over to me and told me, well, let's participate? 12 Shvatim are bringing, what about Shevet Levi? What happened over here? Saran HaChalish Adas. I told you Hashem didn't forgive me for the eagle. HaChalish Adas. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu say to Aaron HaKohen? Chayecha. Shalacha Gedoyla Mishalahem. Your reward is bigger than their reward. Okay? So what's the reward? He gets to light the menorah, right? Aaron HaKohen gets to light the menorah. Aaron HaKohen gets to light the menorah. Okay, ask your question, Rabbi say. Why didn't he say your reward is that you're going to go into the Kodesh Kodshim every year as a Kohen Gadol? I would think that's more prominent than maybe the menorah. I mean, it feels that way anyway. It's going into the Kodesh Kodoshim. But no, you got the menorah. What's the menorah? Menorah is or. So everybody knows it. Oira, zu Torah. Right? Aaron HaKohen got this light, and this light is Torah. Torah is the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Not if I cared. I got my shaykhs back. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me Or. The Or represents the Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving me the Torah. I have the Or of the Torah. I'm going to lead Klal Yisrael with the Or of the Torah. My relationship is back. Chayecha, Shalacha. Yours is bigger than theirs. Shalacha Gadol Mishalahem. I have a Yachas with the Bayer. Okay, let's stop for a minute. Yachas, he thought he lost it. He got it back. Maybe he did lose it. Hashem was angry. Lashmila, he lost 2 sons. Rachmana litzlan. Aaron HaKohen's godless is not shaykh. Remember, right now we're talking about he just got out of Shiva. He's still in Shleishim for his 2 sons. And Aaron HaKohen is Chalisha Sadas, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Chayecha. Fine. What else? What's Aaron's other midah, Rabbi Isai? Tell me his other midah. What else is Aaron known for? Oyev Shalom, Oyev Shalom. Does this have anything to do with that? Are these independent things that Aaron HaKohen happens to have 2 things? He has this Gevaldik midah of Oyev Shalom, Oyev Shalom. Does that have anything to do with Torah? With Oyev Torah? So, my Rebbe Rosh Shlita Shebizach Refu Shalema V'Sayshah Chol Yisrael. Amen. He would say, Alamdin Daf Hashtein. These are his words all the time. Alamdin Daf Hashtein. If it says 2 things together, it's a shaykhus. Now, the Lamdin has to figure out what the shaykhus is. Okay, I'm not calling myself a Lamdin. I'm just saying that's what he would say. Now, I would like to present what Or means, okay? I'd like to present what Or means. Or means that someone can light up a room in a situation. Okay. Somebody came to me, not a Chicagoan. Somebody came to me and told me there's a family sichsuch. Rachmana litzlan. Family's in a machlokes. 8 figures. 8 figures. That's more than $10 million. More than $10 million. There's a machlokes. Is Yerusha, it's well into the 8 figures. And they're fighting about $70,000. So I told the person like this, I'm not taking any credit. Just telling you I happen to be a Kohen, but I'm not taking any credit. I just want to tell you. I said, listen, I want to ask you a question. You're talking 8 figures. And I don't have $70,000. But you do. You do. You got much more than that. You're not going to talk to your siblings for the rest of your life for $70,000? That's the question. Put the question on the table. I'm not saying I just put a question on the table. She said to me, it was like the lights went off, lights went on, whichever way you want to say it, right? When Aaron HaKohen walked into a room, you know what happened? There was light. You know what light did? 2 people all of a sudden could see the other person's tzad. I don't see your tzad. I hate you, I'm angry at you, I can't stand you, I don't want to talk to you anymore. That's the only thing I see. All of a sudden somebody walks in with light. Somebody turned the light. Whoa, you're not the enemy, you're my brother. You're my sister. You're my best friend. Wow, that's who you are. I forgot. Because I'm so angry I can't even think of who you are. Because I don't even see you. I don't see you. Or represents, it means I can see. Aaron HaKohen walked in with his brilliance, he lit the room up. Mamela was Oyev Shalom, Oyev Shalom. I don't mean he didn't work hard at getting it done. But he walked in, there was light. It was like people saw things differently. Okay, I'd like to ask you a question. Science. I'm not here to knock science. Science has done incredible things. Just saw an article about the incredible stomach transplants. Incredible things, besides all the other things of medicine and all the things that have been invented. The country that represents, historically, represents discovery, represents chashivus, represents science and philosophy, the country is Yavon. Greece. Greece. Everything goes back to Greece. Even Chazal talk about Yaftal Lakim Liyefes, that the language, the Greek language, the only language we can use, Greek. It's unbelievable. Greece. And then this year, all of a sudden, something hit me. Again, I couldn't believe it. It's such a passionate thing that I never thought about it before. Chazal described Yavon in 2 words. No. Yavon. Come on, Rabbi. So you all know what it is. Zu Chayshech. You hear what Chazal is saying? Yavon, with all their discoveries and everything else. Zu Chayshech. Aaron HaKohen is Or. Yavon is Chayshech. What do you mean? How can it be Chayshech? Look what they did to the world. What are you talking about Chayshech? I'm going to digress for a moment. Here's a commercial break, okay? You ready, commercial break? You're all invited to Chicago on the 25th day of Elul. 25th day of Elul, which is the 4th day of September, which is the middle of Slichus. Chicago is having an event. We're having an event about technology. It's not going to be as big as Citi Field because New York is much bigger than Chicago. New York, in case you didn't know, New York is bigger than Chicago. Chicago is very big and very Choshen, but it's not as big as New York. We're going to have an event. As a matter of fact, we got 3 speakers for the event, and they all come from New York. One is Rebel Yebrudny Shlita, one is Ephraim Waxman Shlita, one is Dr. David Belkowitz Shlita. All wonderful people. They're all coming to talk about technology. Is technology good or bad? I'm not taking a poll. You know what I mean. Technology has gewaltige Gemeilas. You know, I could say right here, I'm going away from the mic for a second, and I'll be right back. Well, I noticed the machinery here changes every year. The technology over here changes every year. It used to be tapes, right? Used to be tapes. When a video, then there was no video, then they went upstairs, the video upstairs. Now they told me there's videos, and they're streaming it. My wife even told me she's watching me tonight. That's not shaykh. Is technology good or bad? Nobody wants to answer. Nobody wants to, because nobody else knows what I'm going to say. Maybe I'm going to scream at them, right? What? It's both. Okay, good. So you need an event to be able to say, to make sure that we don't have the chesroinus of technology. Can't have the chesroinus of technology. What it does to our kids, it does to our marriages. I could be here all night just telling you stories. I'm not going to tell you any stories. I'm just telling you you're all invited. We're having a major event in New York. Major event in New York. In Chicago, excuse me. In Chicago. Sorry. Maybe you'll have a major event in New York because we're here in Chicago. A letter from the Mashgiach Shlita, and a letter from Shmuel Kamenetsky Shlita, and a letter from Novominsker Rebbe Shlita. We're trying. We're trying. Now I want to tell you like this. We all know that the Mashgiach, Matasho Shlita, it was Moisa Nefesh Ad Viad Bechlal Mamish to do what happened in Citi Field. Okay. I want to tell you like this. I would like to take, Cohen, me. I'd like to take Darwin to a Din Torah. I want to take Darwin to a Din Torah because Darwin was mazik me. Darwin died at least 100 years before I was born. I don't know when he died. A long time before I was born. But Darwin was mazik me. I want to take him to a Din Torah. How was Darwin mazik me? I'll tell you he was mazik me. I don't know how old I was, 6 or 7 or 8. In those days, when I was a 6 or 7 or 8 year old, my tonsils were taken out. Why were my tonsils taken out? Why did they take out my tonsils? Rabbi Zev Miller writes in the biography of Rabbi Zev Miller, go read the biography of Rabbi Zev Miller. 2 million tonsillectomies in the United States of America in a few years, in the 50s or in the 60s. I was one of those people. I got my tonsils taken out. You know why my tonsils were taken out? Because my tonsils were proclaimed to be, if I pronounce this word correctly, a vestigial organ. You know what a vestigial organ means? Vestigial organ means like this, that this part of the body is a leftover from the monkeys that we came from. Mamela, it's really not supposed to be here. It serves no purpose. Take it out. So I remember lying on the couch in my Bobby Olasholom's house, and she's trying to get me to drink a small a glazel of a chocolate malted that my father's promising me a fire truck. I remember he used to stand with a fire truck. My father showed my Bobby's trying to get me to drink this thing, and I'm in pain. I'm not Michael Darwin. I'm not Michael him. I'm not Michael him. When science goes amok, many people pay the price. And probably plenty of people in this room who had a tonsillectomy, same way I had a tonsillectomy, right? I see already a few, right? Tonsillectomies. There's a big machlokes. So many paskin not like Darwin. You know, paskin not like Darwin in the city of New York. Somebody in 1920, somebody paskin not like Darwin. The mayor of New York. I'm pretty sure his name was Jimmy Walker. Is that right? I have the right name? He was the mayor of New York. You know what he paskined? When Reb Baruch Ber came to America in the 1920s, so they gave Reb Baruch Ber the honor of the key to the city of New York. Okay, so here's the mayor and Reb Baruch Ber. So what is a mayor going to say about Reb Baruch Ber? What's there to say about Reb Baruch Ber? So the mayor's like this. Reb Baruch Ber is a proof that Darwin's wrong. Because if you look at Reb Baruch Ber, you see he's an Ish Elokim. He's a man of God. It's not Shaykh, he came from a monkey. Too bad they didn't listen to this psak. I would have still had my tonsils. Right? It's an unbelievable thing here. Unbelievable thing. Unbelievable thing. Okay, let's go right then. Now we're going back to Midas. Okay, everything, we really didn't leave Midas yet, but we're going back to Midas for a second. I saw a Misa. Photocopied it, put it in my notebook. I'll read it to you. Unbelievable Misa. Misa with a goy. Misa with a goy. But let's hear one. In Shul, we have Musa Seder. 4 days a week. We learn Musa from 1:45 to 2 till 2 o'clock during the summer. I invited you once. You can still call in. You can get the call-in number. You can call in. Somebody sitting here calls in every day from New York. He's sitting here right now. He calls in every day. 2 people sitting here. One from New York, one from New Jersey. 2 people sitting here calling. You're welcome to call in. We just made a siyum on the 11th parak of Mesilas Yesharim. It says in the 11th parak of Mesilas Yesharim many unbelievable things, the 11th parak, but this time we're learning it. Second time we're learning it. By the way, we learn from 8 to 10 minutes a day. In Baruch Hashem, in the last, since our Shach was Nifta, which is, I don't remember how many years it is already, 15 years, we finished already Mesilas Yesharim on the second time Mesilas Yesharim, Achos Sadikim, Derech Hashem, Chayves Alavavis, Rabbeinu Yoina. And I don't know if I left anything else out. Yeah, you can join us at 8 minutes a day, 4 times a week. You don't know what you can accomplish after a few years. Anyways, Lamaisa, Sheit Stanzoi. Ein Hagaiva Ella Ivorain Mamish. Gaiva makes a person blind. Right, Lamaisa, you can still see. But a Baal Gaiva can't see because the lights are off. Cheshech zu Yavan, Darwin zu Yavan zu Cheshech, whatever you want to say. It makes a person can't see. A Baal Gaiva can't see the other side. The only thing he sees is himself. Gaiva and Kavod all make a break in your yachas with the Beirei. You know why? Because you're involved in yourself. I'm not involved in the Beirei. I'm involved in me. Through Gaiva and through Kavod. You ever hear about this person? Article printed in one of the papers recently. He was a Navy pilot. His name was Charles Plum. Have you heard of him? Charles Plum, a Navy pilot. He was, on May 19th, 1967, during his 75th mission, which is 5 days before his return home, Plum's jet was shot out of the sky by a surface-to-air missile. He miraculously parachuted himself to the ground at a speed of 600 knots. Finished, he was in enemy territory. Unbelievable. He was in prison in an 8-by-8-foot cell. He spent the next 2,103 days as a prisoner of war. 1973, after his release in 73, he went back to flying jets. Okay, fine. After 31 years in the Navy, he became a corporal, and then he left the Navy. Then he became a motivational speaker. Fine. Plum and his wife were once sitting in a cafe in Kansas City. They were eating in a restaurant. 2 tables over, there was a person there who kept staring at him. Finally, the fellow walks over, and he says, "Are you Captain Plum?" He says, "Yeah, I am." "You're the guy. You flew the jet fighters. You were in Vietnam. Kitty Hawk. You were shot down. The whole thing." Plum said, "Yeah, that's me." "You parachuted into enemy hands. Spent 6 years in prison of war." "Yeah." So Plum was wondering, what does this guy want? Let's do a Misa. He says, "Yep, that's me." "How in the world do you know all of this?" he says. Man says, "I packed your parachute. I packed your parachute." Now listen to what happens. It's unbelievable. I packed your parachute. Plum was speechless. Shakes his hand. And the man said, "I guess it worked." "Sure did," said a grateful Plum. "Wouldn't be for you. I wouldn't be here today." "Fine. Did you keep track of all the parachutes you packed?" Plum asked him. He said, "Do you know all the lives you saved?" He said, "No." The man said humbly, "I never kept track of all the parachutes." Finished. It was enough gratification for me to know that I served. That night, Plum couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep the whole night. As he reviewed his encounter with a man who had saved his life, he was filled with guilt. How many times had he passed this sailor on the ship and not even said good morning to him? Why not? He said, "Because ich bin an officer and a pilot. This guy is a garnish. He's only a regular sailor. I should say good morning to him." He was a fighter pilot. This man was just a sailor. He twisted and turned. He thinks about the guy folding the parachute. And he, the jet fighter, couldn't have cared less about the simple sailor. Now Plum lectures all over the world. And when he lectures, he asks the following question. Who packs your parachute? What a gewaltige Shaila. Who packs your parachute? Who packs your parachute? I could say a million Mishalim. I told you, my wife told me. Who does your laundry? Who makes your supper? Who cleans your clothes? A million questions. Who packs your parachute? It's not shaykh. But the only way you can ask the question if you come down a little bit from Guyver land. If you think you're the fighter pilot, this guy's a garnish, you don't care who packs your parachute. Once you jump out of the plane, and the only reason you're alive is because that guy packed your parachute. So the Namala Mensch has to say, whoa, who packed my parachute? Rabbi say, a Baal Midas is a person who has a yachas. A person who's not a Baal Midas does not have a yachas. And in order to be a Baal Midas, you have to be in control. If you're a Baal Midas and you work on those Midas and you ain't a Chanami Rachmanul, it's not whatever it means. I'm not here to talk about it now. Whatever it means that Aaron HaKohen had this his Hanaf Hashem and Aigel Asher Osa. Well, the Maisi worked so hard to get back to Yachas after his two children with Nifter. He was working so hard to get back to Yachas, and he got it back. Chayecha, that yours is greater than theirs. Okay, that's Aaron HaKohen. I have another shayla for you. There's another person who had a Yachas with the Boirei, which was unbelievable. When there was a big thunderstorm in the world, it says in the Gemara in Zvachim that all of the kings of the world came to this person to ask what's going on. That's how big the person was. All of the kings, say the Gemara in Zvachim. All of the kings. Who was he? Bilam. I'm going to ask you a shayla. Paro said, I was just by my Rebbe to Rosh today. I told him, I told him, Rebbe, I remember the Vort you told us, second year base medrash. The Vort, any Vort the Rosh said, burnt onto the hard drive, you could never forget it. So Rosh said, that Paro said, there can't be a nation in this world that's a nation based on Ruchnias. We got to stop the Jews. So he called an executive committee meeting. Now here we go, Rabbi say, let's upgrade. No parsha sheets, not there's anything wrong with parsha sheets. No second grade Moras or Rabbein, not anything wrong with them. Let's upgrade. Paro has a problem. He wants to get rid of the Jews. Because the Jews are going to make his life miserable because now I got to worry about Ruchnias. If there's no Jewish nation, nobody cares about Ruchnias. Now I got to worry about Ruchnias. Let's get rid of them. How am I going to get rid of them? So he calls in three people, right? Bilam, the biggest Navi. Eov. Such a Navi. According to most Mefarshim, Machlokes in the Gemara, Rashi himself says this in Chumash. Eov was a goy. There's a sefer in Tanakh written by a goy. But he was such a goy that the Gemara Basra says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shaila, is he bigger than Avraham Avinu or not bigger than Avraham Avinu? That's who we're talking about. Eov. And the third person is the great philosopher of the world. Who's that? Yisro. Okay, Givaldi. So, what happens? They all give eitzes how to get rid of the Jews. They don't really. Eov runs away. Eov is quiet. Yisro runs away. And Bilam is given eitzes, right? Bilam's given eitzes. Listen to what happens here. It's unbelievable. This happened to me Ben Azmanim. I said, certain things I think of during the year, I said, this has to go to Yirgun Shurei Torah. If they invite me. So, they invite me. So that's how I think. Yirgun Shurei Torah. So, Sheitazoi. Listen to Rashi. Rashi says, in the end of Parshas Balak, Bilam is talking now. If he gives me all the money in the world, I cannot transgress Pi Hashem. Zok Rashi, what do you mean Pi Hashem? It does not say Pi Hashem Elokoi. What happened to the word Elokoi? In the beginning of Parshas Balak, it says Hashem Elokoi. Now it doesn't. What happened? Zok Rashi, Lefi Sheyoda Shenivash B'Kodesh Baruch Hu V'Nitrad. He knew his relationship was severed. His relationship was severed. Then it says, next pasuk, I'm going home to my nation. I'm no longer a special person. God left me. Okay, so Bilam is saying twice, according to Rashi, Hashem left me. My relationship is over. Now listen to what happens now. Then he says like this. I know the words are hard. What does that mean, Zacharashi? Tomani, says Bilam. What's going on here? Where did you know who you is? Yisro. How are you zeicha? Haloyato imi hoyoisa you with us on the committee. And now your son-in-law is the greatest human being that ever lived. What happened? How'd you do it? How'd you do it? I know it may not be right to say, but I'm wondering, did Bilam feel bad now? That seems to be the pashtus. Bilam felt bad. Are you allowed to feel bad for Bilam? This man was a Navi, equal to Moshe Rabbeinu, says the Gemara Babasha. HaKadosh Baruch was Basha Shinasai Love, and he blew it. He completely blew it. I think he's saying he regrets what he did. He regrets what he did. He blew it. Aaron HaKohen worked so hard to get it back. And Bilam lost it. He lost it. He had a shaykhus and he lost it. He lost it. Okay, Rabbi Sai, let's go one more. What's with us? What's with us? I'm not asking anybody in this room if they're Aaron HaKohen. I know what the answer is. I'm not asking anyone in this room if they're Bilam or Rosh. I know what the answer is. I want to know what's with us. What's with us in a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What's with us? So I'd like to say over from Rosh Schwab's, that's all. I'd like to say over something from Rosh Schwab's, that's all. It had a tremendous effect on me. I'm going to say something else about the shul. In the shul we have I told you this once, we have a shir once a week. Now we have it twice a week, once for men, once for women. We learn siddur. We just finished. We have one bracha left. We're in the middle of Shemon Esrei, and now we're up to Sim Shalom. We finished all of Shemon Esrei. May I have somebody who will put it together. Most of what we learn is Rav Schwab Zatzal and Rav Chaim. Rav Chaim Kanievsky Shlita has a sefer has a siddur. It's called Tefillah L'Moshe. Okay, unbelievable siddur. So I like that. That's mostly what I learned. There's so many svarim on the siddur. I chose these two svarim. Okay, we use other svarim sometimes as well. Those are the two svarim bikkur. Zucker Schwab like this. I want to thank you. We gratefully, the way the English translator is, we gratefully thank you. I don't know where the word gratefully comes in, but most of the siddur I saw translated in English, they stick in the word gratefully. Means thank you. It says we gratefully thank you. Okay, so it's like we gratefully thank you. What are we thanking Hashem for? I want to know what does Moedim Menachdulach mean. I'm not putting anybody in the spot. I am publicly embarrassing myself. I'm my 7th decade in the world. I daven, Baruch Hashem, 3 short esreis a day minimally, except for Shabbos and Yom Tov daven 4, and Kippur daven 5. What does Moedim Menachdulach mean? We thank you Hashem for what? Zakar Schwab and Rashi Taka says this in Saita on Daf Mem Amud Aleph. We thank you Hashem for allowing us to have a relationship with you. Moedim Menachdulach Shatahu Hashem Elokeinu. We have a relationship with you. The rest of the world doesn't have the same relationship with you. We have a relationship with you. We thank you for allowing us to have a relationship with you. What an unbelievable bracha. We thank you, Hashem, for allowing us to have a relationship with you. Okay, then we finish the bracha in the midway point, and we say 3 more words, which I also never understood. Me'olam kivinu lach. Me'olam kivinu lach. What do those words mean? Me'olam, forever, kivinu lach. What does it mean? Kivinu lach. I'm not sure. I'm telling you again. I never understood it. Me'olam kivinu lach means always, forever, kivinu lach. What? Tell me. Our hope, right? Something about hope, right? There's something about hope over there. Kivinu, something about hope. Zakar Schwab. The word kivinu comes from the word kav. Kav means a rope. A rope means like this. Me'olam kivinu lach. We are always attached to you. Me'olam kivinu lach. We're always attached to you. Here, one more prepositional phrase. We're always attached to you no matter what happens. No matter what happens, we're always attached to you. Me'olam kivinu lach. And that's why I think the next words after Me'olam kivinu lach are Alanisim, 9 days a year. Why do we say Alanisim 9 days a year? 8 days of Hanukkah. Why? Because even though prior to the Ness of Hanukkah, we were beaten up constantly, emotionally, spiritually, we're not going to kill you. But we're going to force you to give up Judaism. Russia. 1 day a year we say Alanisim Purim. We're not going to make you join our religion. We're going to kill you. Nazism, right? Me'olam kivinu lach. Whether we go through Russia with communist Hanukkah, whether we go through Purim with Nazis, Yamach Shemam, and both of them, we are never going to give up. We're going to stay with you. Me'olam kivinu lach. You want to know what Me'olam kivinu lach means? I saw a mice. I can't help it. I've been saying over this mice for the last, I haven't said it in New York. Not yet. Here it comes. You ready? I saw this mice. I called the son up of the person of Arun mice. I said, I can't believe the mice that told me it. He said, every detail is true. Here's a mice. There was a Jew who lived in New York. He was a Magashir. His name was Rosh. I was never zeicher to see him. He was Rosh, one of the Magishurim in Beis Talmud, right? Okay. Rosh Brus learned, and he says it with such emotion. He learned for the last few months of Rabbi Baruch Ber's life, he learned in Kamenetz. And the best moment of his life is when he said a svara, and Rabbi Baruch Ber gave him a kiss and said, "Das a svara." So that was the most unbelievable moment of his life. Okay. So now, he's learning, and he didn't realize it, as everybody else didn't realize it. The Kamenetz and Talmidim were caught by the Russians. They were sent to Siberia. They thought that was worse than everybody else. That ended up saving their lives. They didn't go with the Mir Talmidim of Shanghai. They went to Siberia. After 2 years in Siberia, the Russians, Yamach Shimon Bezichrim, told them everybody's free to go. If you're a Polish citizen, you can leave. Go where? Just go. No trains, no planes. They start walking. They get to a place called Bukhara. B-U-K-A-H-R-A, I think. Bukhara. Or maybe A-R-A. Bukhara. What was that? Bukhara. Right. Okay. Okay, good. Now, listen to this place, Bukhara. Okay, I'm just saying it in English, okay? B-U-K. Bukhara. Okay, he's there with 10 Kamenetz Talmidim. And there's a Yid there from Brisk named Rosenfeld, I believe. I think it's Rosenfeld, not Rosenberg. And this person owned a shack in Bukhara. And he took these 10 Talmidim from Kamenetz and he made a yeshiva in Bukhara. What's a yeshiva mean in Bukhara? It means they snuck their Gemaras into this room, and they learned in this room, and they said, Rav Shaul, Bruce's Hasmoda, though all 10 of them had incredible Hasmoda, and one of the people's daughters live in Chicago right now. She told me, the old Meister father used to say, the Hasmoda of Rav Bruce was not Shaykh. Okay, what does Hasmoda mean, Rabbi? He learned 10, 12, 14 hours. It was during the summer in Bukhara, it was between 100 and 110 degrees, and the room was full of mosquitoes. Full of mosquitoes. And he's learning Basmod. Okay, now I want to tell you something. No gaiva here, I'm telling you. If I was in a room that was 105, 110 degrees full of mosquitoes, I could make it for maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes if I really push myself. He's learning 12, 14 hours, not shaykh. But that's not the Maisa. The Maisa is they were starving in Bukhara. Starving! They were starving. He's working on Amkus and writing a sefer on Shabbos, and he took a Birka Shmuel with him. When he ran out of Vilna, he took a Birka Shmuel. See, he's learning by Smother Birka Shmuel. Now he's starving, and he's hot, and there are mosquitoes. But there's one thing, I've read more than 100 Holocaust books, probably 150. Every from book I try to read. Here's a Maisa. I said I never heard such a Maisa. He's in Bukhara, he's learning Birka Shmuel in a room that's between 100 and 110 degrees full of mosquitoes, and he's starving. And so, I'm sorry. I apologize, right? I'm going to be graphic. And so are the rats. The rats are also starving. Rats eat glue. He's learning a Birka Shmuel. Okay? He's not shoving away the mosquitoes. He's pushing away a rat who's trying to eat at the sefer. That, for me, a half a second, I'm out of there. Finish. I'll never be back in such a room. A rat is eating from the sefer that I'm learning from. Forget the mosquitoes. Forget a rat. He learned by smother. He shook the rat away. It's not shaykh to understand it. This person lived here. Yeshiva was right here in Bensonhurst. That's what Bensonhurst is. That's not shaykh. You know what that is? That's my olam kivinu loch. No matter what happens, I maintain my shaykhs. My olam kivinu loch. Moedem and Abdullah shatu Hashem lokeinu. I thank you. I have a relationship, and I'm not giving it up. No, not Antiochus, and not Haman, and not Achashverosh. I'm not giving it up. Not giving it up. Sometimes in this sitter of Rechai Kanievsky, it's so unbelievable. He says, how come, the bracha of Atoy Shimcha Ulchon No Lahodos from all brachas, and in third person. HaMelech HaKadosh, coming up, right? Mechayim Esim, Magen Avram, and this bracha ends. Atoy Shimcha Ulchon, and to you it's no. What are we doing talking in Lashon Noichach, which we in English second? Why am I talking in second person? Why am I talking in second person? So I would like to say. You don't have to agree with it. This is Adkan, I really haven't said anything. I just want to say a little kinech. If a person can say at the beginning of Moedim, Hashem, Hashem, it's a privilege. I thank you for allowing me to have a relationship with you. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And Hashem, I'm never going to stop that relationship. If that's what you can do, then you can talk to me in second person. Then we have a relationship. I tell you, Shimcha l'cha na'el hodos. L'cha na'el hodos. We can do it. L'cha na'el hodos. It's an unbelievable thing. Somebody just told me today, my son, he's not here. He usually comes in from Lakewood. He couldn't come in. He told me, Abba, what are you speaking about? I told him a little what I was speaking about. I said, I want to tell you, he's a Rebbe in elementary school. So I have a sign up in the building. If somebody asked Rabbi Yeshurun Zatzal, what's the purpose of an elementary school? What are you supposed to do? What? You're a Rebbe in elementary school. Givaldik, Malame, Tayyir, Liamo, Yeshua, Rebbe in elementary school. What are you supposed to do? Again, using a prepositional phrase, idiomatic expression. What's the end game? What's the end game? How many Mishayis Baal Peh? How many Bat Gemara? How many Sfarim in Tanakh? What's the end game? Zak Rebbe Yeshvei, the Pshat in elementary school is that a child should walk out and know that there's a Bayrei. A child should know Avada. You can know there's a Bayrei by learning Gemara, you can know there's a Bayrei learning Mishayis, there's a Bayrei learning Chumash, you can know there's a Bayrei learning Tanakh, there's a Bayrei learning Musa. Anything you want to do. But you got to know there's a Bayrei. That's what a child has to walk out. It's Tachari Bayrei from Welt. And I want to have a Yachas. I want to have a Yachas. I believe I said this before. Are you allowed to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for a parking spot? Are you allowed to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for a parking spot? Yes or no? You're driving here. I drove here tonight. I didn't find a parking spot. I was talking to Hashem the whole time. I had to go quickly and visit somebody. I went to visit somebody, and I said, I'll be back here. I was back here at 8:50. Pulled up in front of the shul at 8:50, and no parking. So I went around the block. Very dangerous to go around the block slowly. It's dangerous. Getting lights flashed at me, and nobody honked at me, but they were flashing lights at me. And the whole time I'm talking to Hashem, I need a parking spot. I have to be in here. I walked in 8:57, Baruch Hashem, I had a parking spot. Who got the parking spot? Hashem got it for me, I got it. Right? We get the old joke, right? Thank you, Hashem, I got the parking spot without you, right? I want to tell you what that does. If you talk to Hashem, then you have a yachas. Not I did, I have, I bought, I own. I have a yachas. You have a yachas, different. I know they told me a lot of people are watching tonight, and I debated if I should tell you over this story. But, okay, so we'll go for it, okay? This is what happened to me this morning. I davened was seeking in Chicago, and I had it all planned out that if I leave a Seeking Minyan, there'll be enough time for me to get to the airport, for me to check in. There won't be any problems. Okay, there was traffic. There's a lot of traffic, and I'm talking to my chavrusa on the phone. I'm not learning be'iyun. I can't really learn be'iyun on the phone when you're driving. I'm talking to my chavrusa on the phone, and I said I'm not watching the clock. I'm not going to watch the clock. I'm going to drive. Whatever Hashem's going to do, finished. I make the flight. Don't make the flight. Whatever Hashem wants. That's it. Finished. That's it. Okay, there's a whole other part of the story which I won't say over. If anyone wants to hear afterwards, I'll tell you afterwards. Right now, I'm just telling you this part of the story. So, the Bekitza, I get to the airport. It's mamish bumper to bumper. I'm not watching the clock. I get inside, and last night the printer on the house was broken. I didn't have a ticket. I had to get a ticket, and the kiosk didn't work. And a lady finally had me. 7:30 is my flight, and 7 o'clock I get my ticket. Okay, now I have I forgot what it's called. Pre-check. Yeah, pre-check. The pre-check didn't come up. Pre-check. I said, Hashem, whatever you want, that's it, finish. Whatever you want, Hashem, that's all. Pre-check didn't come up, fine. Okay, so the lady says to me, don't worry, you'll make it. I have to go to the okay. One lady overheard that was a little bit unbelievable. A lady, a Geisha woman. She says to me, you can go ahead of me. I hear you got pressure, you go ahead of me. Then she asked the two people in front of me, please let him go ahead. I didn't say one word, she said, please let him go ahead. It was unbelievable. Like Hashem was taking me. Okay, I get to it, whatever happened. I walk to the, I run to the gate. I said, Hashem, I get to the gate, I'm the last person on the plane. Okay, they let me on the plane. I get on the plane, they say, your luggage can't get on the plane. No luggage, your luggage has to be checked. Okay, so I have a briefcase that I'm carrying my towels and tefillin. I don't want my towels and tefillin to be. I looked like one of these, I got on the plane, I felt like what, okay, finished. So I'm sitting down on the plane, and then I realized that this is the way when I fly in, I stop in the lounge, and I learn with my chavrusa. I take a 7:30 flight. I land at 10:30, which is 9:30 in Chicago. I don't like to miss learning of my chavrusa in the Kolel from 9:30 to 12:30. And so somebody sponsors, and I go into a lounge, and I learn from 9:30 to 12:30. So I tell the stewardess, I have a problem, I just realized. My luggage is now checked. It's not going to be, as you get off the plane, I have to go to baggage. If I go to baggage, I can't get back into the airport. Because I went out of security. I can't get back in, but I have to get back in as a ganze tumult here. So this lady turns to me, the stewardess, her name is Talia. I asked her if she was Jewish. She said no, maybe she is anyway. She said to me, I have an hour off. I'll go to security. I'll get your luggage. I don't have to go through back through security because I'm a stewardess, and I'll bring you your luggage. I said, what? You're going to bring me my luggage? I said, who are you? He said, I have an hour off. I have an hour, nothing to do. I'll bring you your luggage. Maybe one day somebody will do me a taiva as well. I want to tell you, everybody, I was thinking I could say this myself. I've been flying for 50 years already. No, I couldn't believe it. Stranger says to me, she get my luggage. She gave me her cell phone number. I gave her my cell phone number. She got the thing. She called me. I went downstairs from the lounge. I met her. I brought her my thing. I had my svarim, my style. I was not shy. Okay, I'm just telling you one thing. Talk to God. Talk to God all the time. Talk to Him. Talk to Him. Talk to Him. Talk to Him. You never know what's going to happen. Just keep talking to Him. He wants a yachas. I didn't say you have to stand up in front of your friends and talk to God. In your car, talk to God. What, talk to God? I just saying to God in your mind. You don't have to talk to nobody else to know what you're doing. Nobody knows what you're doing. Talk to God. Talk to God. Okay, now let's finish. Now what happens? We get into Elul. Now, Elul is a time to be scared and frightened. And we know all the Mike says, I walked in this Rosh Chodesh Elul to a shul, and I met a person there. We both came in very early. He says to me, do you hear the benches? I should know what he was talking about. He's a real Litvish Yid. I said, do you hear the benches? He's from a Baruch Bass family. You hear the benches? I know what you mean. What do you mean? He said, this way Rosh Chodesh Elul was in my house. I grew up, my father would say to us, Rosh Chodesh Elul, did you hear the benches? What benches? He said, do you hear the benches in Shemayim? They're setting up the Beis Din. Now, that's the way people used to talk. Not too many people talk that way anymore, but that's the way people used to talk. No, I never heard that growing up. Never heard that growing up. I'd like to say something else about Elul. It's gewaldig. That's gewaldig. He also told me that, what his father used to do, Motzei Shabbos, he made Abdullah. Unbelievable. Motzei Kippur, you mean. Motzei Kippur, his father made Abdullah. You know what he said? He finished Abdullah. He said, it's Balt Elul. Okay, that's, there are some Litvish Yidden like it. It's Balt Elul. Okay, fine. Motzei Kippur. It's Balt Elul. Okay, I want to tell you what, I don't mean more apropos, but I think this, Elul means, Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. Hashem says, have a relationship with me. And I want to tell you more. 3 weeks before Elul, 3 weeks before the Chodesh Elul, we're on the floor. And this is the first time I understood this. What are you doing on the floor? Why, for years, we say every word of Kiddush. I tell everybody in shul, say it in English. I give a 45-second to a minute and a half introduction to every one of the kinnis. We sit on the floor from 9:45 until 1:10, 3.5 hours. We read through all the kinnis. I read them in English. I tell everybody, everybody's too embarrassed. I read them in English out loud. I read kinnis out loud in English. After 25 years of doing that, I'm beginning to understand a little bit of kinnis. So I want to tell you what happened to me this year. What is kinnis? I said to everybody before Kiddush, I want to tell you what Kiddush is. This is the way I feel. Kiddush is, we sit on the floor and we are misabel. I've never cried. Unfortunately, I've tried. I've never cried yet. One honest tear to come out of my eyes on Tisha B'Av hasn't happened to me yet. A real honest tear. But what are we doing? We're sitting on the floor and we're saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't have a yachas with my father. I don't have a yachas with my melech. I don't have a yachas. I want to have a yachas. I don't have it. We're being misabel on the relationship. It says in Kiddush, HaKadosh Baruch Hu almost divorced us. It says in Kiddush, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not talking to us. It says in Kiddush, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is upset with us. If a person can mourn a little bit on Tisha B'Av, 3 weeks later he can say, Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. Because now I have a relationship. I mourn the fact that I don't have a relationship. Now I have a relationship. I think Rabbi said that's the tachlis of what we're trying to do here. Tachlis is about midas. About you got to be about midas. If you have a yachal Kadosh Baruch Hu because you worked on your midas, then you have the ability to tell Klal Yisrael, this is what Kadosh Baruch Hu wants. You walk into a room and the room lights up. The room lights up. Let's end. I'm sure almost. I don't know if I'm sure or not sure. Many people in this room have been in the Daled Amos of Chaim Kanievsky. Okay, the buhas and the brachas and this and that, leave all aside. When you walk into that room by Chaim Kanievsky, you know that there's something going on in this room. Everybody knows that. I was zeichet to walk into Ramesh's room. You walked into Ramesh's Daled Amos, you knew something was going on. You knew something was going on. What was going on? These people have a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I just read a Michal Yehuda Lefkowitz had a shayla. He said, I can't answer the shayla. I said, go to Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim was a Michal Yehuda's Talmud. He said, go to Reb Chaim. He has a peh kodesh. He has a peh kodesh. You know why he has a peh kodesh? Because he has a yachas with the Beirei. If you have a yachas with the Beirei, you have a peh kodesh. Everybody in this room, speaker included, we're all together trying to have a yachas. Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. Can I end? I want to say something. I once learned this part like ani l'doidi v'doidi li. I said, wow, ani l'doidi v'doidi li. And then we learned the siddur. So I started looking in English. What happens on Friday night, Leil Shabbos? What does the person say? The highlight. What do you say? What does the chadodi mean? Come on, let's talk now. Now, come on. I'm talking for 55 minutes. I'm ending right now. We said I can go a little later. I'm not going to go later. Tell me, what does the chadodi mean? Come, my friend. What does that mean? Come, my friend. If you look in the article siddur, it says, "Come, my beloved," with a capital B. What is that? Come, my. Who are you talking to? What are you saying? So my whole Kabbalah Shabbos changed. You know, if some people feel they probably, you know, I'm a little overboard. I go every passage when the Chazan says, you know, sometimes you say l'chadoidi, some nigunim you say it twice. I love those nigunim say it twice. I said this way I imagine Kabbalah Shabbos is l'chadoidi. My arm. Come, I can't even believe to say we're allowed to say these words. Come, my beloved, let's go. I say l'cha, let's go. That's That means we have to have a yachas with the boyrei. That's our job, Rabbi say. We should have a ksiva chesima toiva and good ben shor. And the yor means we should have a yachas together with the boyrei, and together we should all be zeicha to be as a Mashiach Be'eri Amenu. Thank you very much for allowing me to come.
Shem Irgin Shiri Torah Moses Basson. I'd like to give a big yashar koach to Rabbi Cohen for the very inspiring drasha. Rabbi say one great way you can have a yachas with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and his Torah is by supporting the Harbatzas Torah of Irgin Shiri Torah and sponsoring one of the remaining shiurim or donating to have a chelik in Harbatzas Torah of Hashem's Torah to Bnei Yisrael worldwide by calling Irgin Shiri Torah at 718-851-8651. 718-851-8651 or email tapecenter@yeshivanet.com. We'd like to give a big yashar koach to Mr. and Mrs. David Dax for sponsoring tonight's shir, L'Kavod Rav Cohen Shlita. I'd like to give a big yashar koach to Elam Shem sponsoring tonight's shir as a schus Lili Nishmas or Shraga Feivel ben Rabbi Zev Cohen and Lili Nishmas Yeshurun Ben Yerochel Bas Rabbi Yaakov Tzvi Ola Sholem. Tanish Mesem Tzurus B'Tzorah Chaim. CDs of tonight's show will be available shortly. Reb Chananya ben Akash Shem Rotz HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Zakis Has Yisrael Avigah Himnon Torah Mitzvah Shenema L'Noi Chofetz Aman Tzidka Yagdol Torah V'Yader. Amen.